we will have no rest for the wicked here, as both teams are about ready for game or for draft into game 2 here. Looks like we just missed the first couple of bands coming out. Volibear, Senna, Azir, Hecarim. Nothing particularly surprising.
Looks
Although
like they do not want a repeat of the Senna Seraphine.
I really don't feel like that was the problem, so I'm surprised that ZMG is putting a ban into taking that away.
I think it's because they probably have a solution to them playing something like a Tristana mid.
Lotus Prestige taking just a few seconds here on this final ban. It will be the Lucian, not wanting that to exist in ZMG's bot lane, and the instant Nami lock-in for reality here.
Surprised me since Reality's favorite champion is the Nami, so it makes sense.
Now, without the Lucian on the table, what would you be pairing with it if you're ZMG here?
I mean, the Ziri's still open. What's it called? Ash, Ziri.
Ziri does immediately get picked away by LTP as you say that. So,
Oh well. You see. See, I have big brain.
yeah, you're
Except,
you're just caster cursing, man. You're
I mean, Kaisa Nami is pretty good. I don't really know how good Kaisa is currently, but I know Kaisa Nami is a good combo.
it will be
Um,
interesting to see how this Zeri does because
with a Yumi.
she did receive a small nerf to that crit damage on her W in this patch, which has just dropped.
As long as I don't see any more AP Ziri mids, like that's some unfortunate tech right there. Let me tell you. I
uh,
was playing. I forgot who I was. I think I was playing like what Soraka or something, and I was Ziri hit me with one W through the turret, and I did not feel good. I did 75% of my health.
that certainly hurts. Well, your second prediction was true. At least we do see the Ashe coming out here from ZMG as their likely bot laner.
It seems like they're having more utility bot lane, so I wonder if that means that top will be on more of a carry champion versus just a York split push.
Or is it going to be that they're going to put that weight onto Azir's shoulders and force him to carry?
I predict. Oh, look, there's a Belveth. I thought we were gonna pick Belveth, but I keep thinking things and then they keep picking it. So they both get the resets. Huzzah!
Belveth does not become the picked champion, as J4 will be the final lock-in for Lotus Prestige. Belveth, alongside a couple other champions, did receive some nerfs in this most recent patch, as did Viego, if I recall correctly. So a lot of the
What's
champions that have been popular for a long time, or recently popular in the case of Belveth, are taking some hits from the balance team.
like it's top and mid left left up on both sides. There we go. I can talk. I can words. I can use my words.
Very, very
Honestly,
well, clearly, as we can see.
I'm not surprised to see an Orin ban. He's just so tanky. You saw how far behind he was, and he was still able to survive like 5 members of ZMG hitting him.
Yes, very difficult to kill. We do see the Alawi ban again from Lotus Prestige. Very, very much do not want to face that Alawi in the top lane. The final ban will be the Vigar.
Which is, I feel like ZMG might pull out. Uh, they're gonna need like kind of scaling. I think burst AP damage, something like maybe like a Victor or I don't know.
A Syndra, perhaps. I'm
or
not
Vel'Koz.
I'm not sure how Syndra is at the moment. We do see Anivia and Corki hovered. Talia as well? No, they go with Ahri as their final decision for the mid lane, giving Azir the chance for a counter pick here if he so chooses. And at the same time forcing Shane in the top lane to blind pick here. The Yorick felt
I,
like it had some good pressure in that last game, but doesn't fit as well with this team comp, I'd say.
look at me, just throwing out the big predictions. It's not like I know them.
No, definitely not like you are actively ingrained in this organization or anything.
No, no, no.
No, no
I
possibility.
totally didn't call the Victor or the Ash or the it's fine.
We do see the Renekton being picked up by Shane here. Any thoughts on that? Does that surprise you at all?
Nope. Well, okay, Shane's three main champions is Yorick, Alawi, and Renekton. So like it doesn't really surprise me to see one of those three champions.
Very fair. Looks like Lotus Prestige believe that the Olaf is the best counter for that. Unless they choose to swap the J4 and the Olaf, have that Olaf going in the jungle in the J4 top lane. Technically possible.
I would say I doubt it, but then they just play Tristana mid, so like, what do I know?
Anything is possible. Any last thoughts on these team comps here? Anything jump out at you? Anything you want to call attention to before we get into game 2 here?
I think honestly, like ZMG has a better team fight as long as they position correctly. Mainly because like uh LTP kind of has a lot of like pick potential, right? Like Zeri sees someone, she opens over the wall. J4 sees someone, he just does his combo ult, and then Ari, Olaf. It seems like they just really want to dive forward. But on the side of ZMG, they have an Ash, they have a Victor, so I feel like they have answers to the dive.
Very fair. Well, we shall see how things play out in game. For the meantime, though, as we wait for spectator delay, we are going to take a short break here. When we come back, game 2 between Lotus Prestige and ZMG Legends. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 here between ZMG Legends on the blue side this time and Lotus Prestige on the red. I am joined at the desk for Game 2 by our very own ZM Barnes, the former top laner for ZMG Legends.
How's it going, guys? Super excited to watch this match. It's currently 0-1, right? For
Yes,
the Lotus Prestige, right?
Lotus Prestige does have a one-game lead at this point. Of course, the moment we get into game, we get a pause as Crisp 10 does disconnect. So we will have a bit of a time lag here in about 15 seconds likely, because the spectator client is awful and nobody likes it.
What do we think for win cons? I'm not too sure who wins that top matchup. It's pretty volatile. I mean, Renekton, Olaf, both pretty like lane dominating champs.
We do know that Renekton is one of Shane's main champions here, so it is possible that he will have some strong play, but does get caught out a little bit here. Zongi landing the first undertow, landing the second one. 3 members of Lotus are here, forcing the flash out of Shane.
That's tough. I think he'll make it back to the wave in time, but that flash is pretty crucial.
Yeah, losing the flash early into an Olaf who has enough chase down to run him from one nexus to the other is not what you want to see happen. Especially not when it looks like Olaf is thinking about doing something a little bit cheesy here. Pushing up into the bushes.
Yeah, I think he can do that up until, I don't know, level 3 or something like that. It's so strong level 1. It's going to be tricky for that first couple waves for Shane, especially with no flash, and it looks like Jarvan's walking up.
Shane in a very dangerous position. Might find himself the target of an instant level 2 gank here.
Oh boy.
Crocodile does not know what's going on. First undertow will miss, second undertow will hit. The knockup from the flag and drag will land, and Zongi getting that first blood.
That's tough. That is definitely tough.
That is certainly a problem for Shane here.
Some trades going down bot. Level 1, not level 2. Okay.
Looks like about even. A little bit more damage onto reality, but even damage between Crisp and Owl on the red side.
They both went longsword pots. Lots of pots.
We do see the bubble landing here. The flash forward from reality is not quite enough, and he's going to die to the turret there.
I thought he had Ignite. I think he must have thought that he had Ignite when he went in there, but he's got Exhaust. That's rough.
That is an unfortunate misplay. T-Garden blowing the flash as well, trying to save his support, was not quite enough, and that's 2 summoner spells burned in the bot lane.
Looks like Azir's up on CS, which is some good news. Shane's going for a nice trade there.
Looks like Azir is slightly down in CS.
I know, but he's got minions at his tower, I think, to get him up. Oh, I guess he missed a couple, unfortunately.
Yes, the modified ZMG caster curse is you never praise Azir because he will always let you down. I'm gonna get flamed real hard when he carries this game. I can feel it. T-Garden taking a lot of poke there. J4 is in the area as well. Zongi not loving this trade, though. Down about 300 health. The flag and drag broken up by the bubble here.
Wow,
Crits being ganked by Joe Baby. The gravity field lands. The W lands, but does not have quite enough damage. And the flash from Crits will be enough to keep him alive here.
Shane wants this kill.
Shane wants it. Will not quite have it. Olaf surviving at a grand total of 30 health.
He doesn't have TP. He might be able to get that wave in. The Renekton, that is.
Shane does appear to be looking to get this pushed. Q will be
no
just
flash
enough.
mid. Oh, it doesn't look like they're going for a mid. I see no flash, but I guess he is playing pretty safe.
Joe Baby has canceled about 4 backs here in the span of 30 seconds. Really wants to think about this, but Kritz is playing very cautiously, has an inkling with all of that ward coverage in the bot river that Joe Baby might be where he is, and will force the reset eventually out of ZMG's jungler. We do see neither team giving any particular attention to this Drake, not trying to get it on spawn here.
Yeah. I think we got, what, a CS advantage for the bot side. Tops in favor of LP. Mid's looking like Azir's got some CS advantage there. It's going to be tricky if J4 looks top here, though. The wave is pushing towards him, though.
Shane does have a little bit of vision here. Looks like J4 is going for the invade instead. Will find that Gromp. This is a big wave here for Shane to catch, potentially.
Yeah.
Still pre-6 for Olaf. Cannot avoid that W from Renekton to keep him slowed. But Shane down to about 400 health. And with J4 looking at a potential dive here, might be trading Shane's life for a dragon. The undertow lands again, but a couple of turret shots being taken by Zongi puts this into a bit of jeopardy here.
Needs that E up.
Widowmaker is here. The double dash from Shane will keep him alive for a little bit. Zongi taking the turret shot will die. Shane at the perfect level up will get the ult as well and survive.
Wow, phenomenal. That was beautiful to watch. Well played by Shane.
And everything that could go wrong went wrong for Lotus Prestige there.
Yeah.
Lost the top dive, lost the Drake.
Are they contesting? I see Nami walking over. Looks like she's just clearing vision.
Yep, found out by that pink ward.
It's unfortunate. I think they're really trying to punish that Ari's flash being down, but nothing's been working so far.
T-Garden taking a bit of poke here, but Nami is back in time. So Crisp 10 choosing not to continue that aggression. And not entirely surprisingly, we do see pretty even gold all across the board. Looks like the biggest gap is the bot lane, where T-Garden's down about 450 gold. Well, 7.5 minutes in, both teams kind of trading objectives and wins here left and right, as a very even game. But if game 1 is anything to go by, this is not going to stay this way for long. I do want to draw attention quickly to the vision control that Red Team does have. Just losing a couple of wards there, no longer having perfect control over this Rift Herald, but still enough that J4 feels confident going in here. Not going for the Rift Herald. Looks like he's instead going to try and chase down Shane here. 2 levels up on Zongi here. The instant Ragnarok is popped. Shane does not have flash here. The ult popped from the Renekton. Couple of turret shots being taken by Zongi will not be enough to kill him. Viego is in the area. Looking, choosing not to go. Ahri does have the roam here. Azir is following behind, but will choose to back off instead. And that is another good gank from Widowmaker here on this top side of the map.
Yeah, it just shows how important vision is.
And now Azir is out of position as well, throwing down the Chaos Field, or the Chaos Storm rather. Crits going over the wall with the ult. The teleport coming out from Shane will not be enough to dissuade Crits, and that is a kill for him as well.
Shane's got a lot of minions at his tower. This is going to be a pretty rough TP for him.
you have to wonder a bit why Azir chose, after having gotten all the way down to the blue buff, why he chose to turn back around and walk through the river where they had no vision and knew that at least a
Right.
couple of members of Lotus Prestige were there.
And it's stuff like that. When you show up late to a fight, you could have been doing things like getting plates, getting CS. Oh,
The ults from Zeri and
that is
Yumi both
impressive.
come out. Do not quite get T-Garden, though. Little bit of aggression there. Not quite
Yeah.
paying off, but not a bad decision by any stretch.
Hope to see Viego going either bot or top here and trying to pull off a gank. I think Ghost is down for Olaf, which could be potential. Mid's just got flashback up.
We do
Ooh,
see
Jarvan's creeping
about
up.
30 seconds to Drake here. The charm and the
He dodges everything
J4
but
field
enough.
lands.
Oh,
Not enough dodging of auto attacks, unfortunately. Azir will fall at the cost of J4's flash and... No flash from J4. Flash from Ahri. Looks like Azir mispinged that. That's going to be a little bit awkward when that J4 flashes forward in a fight or two here. Shane going in on a Zongi. Pops the ult. Zongi will
wow.
fall.
Well played.
Looks like a dive here being engineered by Lotus. Widowmaker going forward. Reality forced to flash away as Crits shows himself as well. This is a 3v4, and it looks like Lotus is going to take this pressure over to Dragon. But Joe Baby is here. The bot lane for ZMG is here, and it looks like Azir is starting to rotate this way. And they will back out rather than taking this Drake. And in doing so, they give a second Drake over to ZMG here. Oh no. Azir, what have you done? The flag and drag goes over the wall, but Azir able to survive with the help of that gravity field to dissuade the J4 from going in. The Chaos Storm does some more damage and will get the final kill, or the final strike onto J4 here. Good collapse from Viego, and is reality real to put some gold back into the pocket of this Victor, who has not had a fun time in this mid lane.
Looks like they're going for a Rift play top here. I believe Joe Baby's got Rift. Oh,
T-Garden does get hit by the root, will fall under
wow.
turret to Crisp 10.
That's a lot of damage.
Is popped, will likely get this turret here. It's down to about 3 plates. Zongi going hard in on Joe Baby here, though.
Ooh,
Will get the kill, but Shane, having a lot more health here, should be able to get the counter kill onto Zongi. Looks like he will just barely get it.
Wow.
Will he be able to get the turret, though? Yes, just barely flashes away from the Cataclysm. Running for his life from Widowmaker here. Pops the ult, deciding to go back in. The turn here, Widowmaker already down to about 300 health. The Everfrost does not land from Crits, but Crits will have enough damage and will get the kill onto Renekton here.
And you know it's not great that they're mid roamed, but at least this time Azir's not going late. He's taking a play. We got 160 gold for it, maybe an extra wave. Not the worst case scenario. It's unfortunate though that the mid did roam top there.
Crits has done a good job of putting pressure on the map. Another Ashe ult just barely missing its target. Actually misses 3 of the members going across the map, nearly hitting the J4 and the Olaf as well.
Oh,
Reality does get hit by the charm, just a little bit of chip damage.
Viego's walking up. They could potentially. Zeri's coming too.
Yeah, Zeri and the Yumi on her back. So this is a 3v4, even if ZMG does not know it. The ultimate coming out from Nami. Lots of damage onto Crits, down to about 300 health. Will fall here to the Viego. Viego picking up that Ahri, and it looks like they will disengage here. Olaf has joined the fight, but the unstoppable from Joe Baby will get him out safely. Renekton finally here. Widowmaker is down to about 300 health. The bubble landing onto Zongi, forced to use that Ragnarok to survive. The Yuumi ult coming out for disengage will hit nobody. And that is a lot of ults burned here with just the one kill onto crits. And that is some good gold into the pocket of Joe Baby here. Getting that 300 gold shutdown onto that very scary Ahri. Teagarden might have found himself a fight he doesn't particularly want, putting a lot of damage onto Widowmaker, though. Down to about 250 health. The
The
ultimate
R
lands.
hits.
Teagarden flashes forward and gets the kill
Wow,
onto
well
Widowmaker
done.
in the solo fight. Turns out an 0-1 Ashe is still a little bit scary. Joe Baby and Shane looking for Zongi here. Will be trying to alcove game his way out of this. Looks like they have found him, though. Zongi running out of health, trying to take Joe Baby with him, will not manage it. And that is another kill in this top lane, which has been an absolute bloodbath both ways. Are you at all surprised that this top lane has been so aggressive in these first 16 minutes?
I am surprised, and you know what? Gold is in favor of ZMG now. It looked like it wasn't for pretty much the entire time until now. I know they got that rift up, but there's been some skirmishes, that bot play there. I'm impressed. I'm surprised as well, because they also have 2 Drakes. They played for Drakes, and it's going to be definitely in their favor now. Not too sure when the next Drake's coming up.
Next Drake is in 45 or 40 seconds rather.
I wonder if there's going to be a team fight here, but it looks like they're going to go for Rift instead. I don't know if that's the play. I feel like going for the win con of Soul Point is huge, but it looks like they're going to go for that Rift, play for the split push.
Well, looks like Renekton's taking this solo. There's no pressure here from Lotus Prestige to try and attack that Rift Herald, so he may be able to take this alone while the rest of his team is prepping for Drake here. Looks like he's going to take that and head straight top lane.
Oh, they're going
Based
for
on his
both.
pings. Do have what looks to be a fight brewing here, as 4 members of ZMG are available. Shane does have the TP. Zongi going in hard with the Ragnarok, nearly taking out Azir. Not quite enough. Will take a while for him to fall. Zongi does fall on the
Renekton's
backside,
in.
but Ashe does manage to, or does fall on the other side of this fight. Joe Baby does not quite manage to kill Crisp 10, finally gets
A
it with the
reset.
help of Shane, but now it's Shane alone as Joe Baby does not have enough health to continue this fight here, and it's a 3v2. However, it does not look like either team is particularly interested in starting this Drake up. Widowmaker may be looking for it now, but with only the Yuumi in support, may not love the fight against Shane. Does get this Drake started. Ashe is in the area. We see the TP from Zongi, and it looks like ZMG chooses to let this one go. What went wrong there? How did ZMG lose control of that fight?
I think that before Renekton gets there, you can't get in that river positioning. I believe it was Azir who got engaged on. You can't let yourself get engaged on. The vision's there. You know that they're not on it. You can chuck a Victor E from across the wall to see if they're on the Drake, or maybe even an Ashe W, something like that. They need to be getting poke off before they get into those types of fights. When they got into that river early, Olaf was able to capitalize, engage, and then after that, the follow up by Jarvan. Shane wasn't there yet. So they gotta wait on that arrival of Shane, and I think that they do win the fight. They got a couple of resets for Joe Baby. They've got the Ashar to work with, but they weren't able to use a lot of their skills. Fortunately, it's just one Drake though.
Looks like we will see this bot lane turret taken before Crits is able to respond. A little bit more gold into ZMG's pockets. Still up by about 2,000 gold despite how that fight turned out.
Looks like they're really trying to get this Rift top.
No, they used the Rift Herald in the mid lane. So they are prepping for Baron here, which will be spawning in about 40 seconds. Any surprises in itemization here, or is this all about what you'd expect for these champions in these particular matchups?
So I've seen the Viego. I think he's going Bork next, and I wonder if that's the play because I
We
don't
do see
know
the
if
board
there'd be.
completed.
It is completed, yeah. I don't know if that would have been the best move here because I don't know if there's going to be these extended fights. It looks like everything's just kind of all in team fight, and I don't know if Viego's going to be able to sit in the middle of them, get his auto attacks off. I think he's going to have to do a bit more burst damage. So I would have went with maybe a Dead Man's Plate or something a bit tankier. I don't know if the Bork is going to be able to do what it needs to do. Um, the
How do you
rest
feel
of the
about
items look.
the Leandries on Victor?
I was Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if the sustain damage is there from him. If he's able to poke, I suppose it'll do a bit more on the Olaf and the Jarvan. But at the end of the day, I think a big deal of whether they're gonna win the team fight or not is if they can pop the Zeri, and maybe Leandries won't be able to do that job on the Zeri in particular.
So what would you have gone for then? The Ludens?
I think I would have went for Ludens, or even Crown or something like that. Safer, Ludens could get that extra damage on Azari that they need before she heals up. Sustained damage into Yumi comp is a bit tricky. I'm always kind of against it, and that's kind of what Leandries does. But Leandries, it's been a good item since the durability patch, so we'll see. Maybe it is good enough.
Looks like ZMG is putting some pressure here onto the top side of the map, thinking about getting control over this Baron pit. Vision will be cleared out in return by Lotus Prestige here, though. Nami might find herself in a bit of trouble here. The dash forward from crits, the Everfrost does not land, the Charm does not land, and the Flash is enough to keep Reality safe. A lucky escape there for the Nami.
Yeah. We got shutdowns on Viego at 350 gold. That'll be pretty important to keep it getting to the other team. 350 gold. That's a pretty big game changer. They did end up placing that rift. I didn't get to see where it went.
It
I
went
looked
into the
away for
mid
a
lane.
second.
They
Was it
were
in
able
mid?
to claim mid outer out of it, but did not get the second charge. We do see the ult coming out from the Ashe, lands onto Widowmaker.
Might be a pick.
Stun is not long enough for anyone to catch up, though. The Nami ult is flashed away from as Olaf is taking turrets in the top side of the map. With about 25 seconds for this Drake to spawn. I think ZMG might have blown their load a little bit early here.
What did they commit there? They committed Namiar, Ashar. Yeah, that's a decent amount.
We do see the
Oh,
ult
this is gonna
from...
get canceled.
The TP gets canceled from Zongi
Beautiful.
here, takes a couple of turret shots, might find himself falling to Shane here,
Yep.
will fall there, as the J4 is the first to fall in the fight on the other side of the map. The Viego does manage to survive. Azir trying to chase down crits, does not have quite enough damage. The Zanyas is forced out. Reality gets the flash out of Crisp 10 here with the bubble. Kill does not land as Shane has joined the fight with a
Shane.
bang. Zeri disappearing, and Owl in a hoodie will be soon to follow. That is a 4-for-1 here. And Viego
That
peeling
was
off, getting
amazing.
the dragon early enough that it looks like ZMG is going to take the Baron here.
They're getting Drake. They're getting Baron. They stopped that TP from Zongi. Beautiful plays, left, right, and center. I'd say the MVP of that team fight there is Shane. He stopped the TP. He came back, TP'd in, landed the stun on Zeri. Is there anything he can't do this game? He's on fire.
I don't think that Renekton will be particularly good at making milkshakes. But outside of that, I'm pretty sure that Shane can do whatever he darn well pleases. And with Baron claimed, we do see that ZMG has amassed a 4,500 gold lead now.
That is a lot. And Shane's shutdown is now at 500. They got about 800 gold in shutdowns. I don't think bounties are up, fortunately. I think that starts at 5k. I'm not sure. Oh, they are
No,
up,
we do
actually. I
have
guess it
bounties
starts at
available
4.
at the moment.
Okay.
I don't know that
It's
anyone
always a
has
tricky game.
completely data mined League's bounty system. It's completely incomprehensible as far as I can tell.
Shows up when I don't want it to. That's all I
Eh,
know.
more or less. Widowmaker looking over the wall here, does land the Cataclysm onto reality. Widowmaker losing his life for this though, as Azir is running for his life from Zongi. The return ult from the Ashe taking Crisp 10
Oh
down.
wow.
And Zongi will follow as well.
Oh
The
no.
Zeri picking it up from Joe Baby. And in the
All
meantime,
of that
Renekton
for
has
a
just been
support.
pushing. Renekton has just been pushing the bot side. That was a 4v5.
Wow. That commit just for the support. I mean, what did they do? They put down 3 Rs. They tower dove with 2 people. It's risky plays, and I don't think they're in a position to be doing that. I wonder how much they're going to lose is the question.
They're
We've
losing
got bot.
all of their second tier turrets. Looks like Renekton's going to take the bot lane inhibitor potentially. No, maybe
Oh,
forced
he's got a
to
500 gold shutdown.
slice and dice away here. Crits does not land the charm. So that's going to be all the tier 2s down. And the inhibitor does fall to minions.
Oh, really?
So they got
Wow.
4 turrets off of that push. What a play
Wow.
there. And the gold lead
And
has expanded to 8k.
wow. That's a lot of gold.
And if you're ZMG, this is exactly what you needed after a depressing last game. To take game 2 by storm and get back on your feet.
I don't know if LP has a win con at this point because they'll lose the side lane. Jarvan goes in. It's basically giving Viego a reset at this point. It's probably gonna. I think the Zeri's gonna determine the team fight, and if she can do something spectacular, which is gonna be really hard to pull off, they have potential to win. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe Ari could get a charm pick, something like that. But time's running out, and they're down a lot of gold. So it
Is
looks like
there
ZMG might be cutting it off.
a chance here for Lotus to deathball and take down Shane while he's split pushing alone here? Get that shutdown
If
onto
they were to commit,
perhaps the Ari here?
he's going in with Yuumi. Is it enough? Is a Yuumi and an Olaf enough to take him down? I don't know. And I don't think anyone's trying to find out. I think Olaf's just letting him be. But Shane is not backing down. He's staying there. He's got backup coming in from Azir. But they're not engaging.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
and
not engaging on 2v1.
with 60 seconds here until Drake, that is another win con for ZMG here. The Earth Soul giving everyone some more shields, making this pick comp of Lotus Prestige even harder to activate. Ashe ult misses. Nami ult hits a little bit too late. Not
That's a lot of
entirely,
aggression before the team fight. I don't
not
know.
too long of a cooldown. It's about a minute, but by the time those are up, Drake will have spawned here.
We have Shane top. They've got TP still, so that's good. Looks like they're really trying to get that mid wave pushed in. They
However,
got a lot of other ways.
with an Ashe and a Victor, it's kind of hard to push into. Shane has reached that
Agreed.
inhibitor turret here. If nobody responds here,
They've
even if
got
they give up the
engaged.
Drake, they're going to get the inhib.
They've got to engage. They got to force the TP, or else they're just going to keep losing. I don't think it's the worst day in the world if ZMG lose this Drake if it means that they're going to get inhib.
ZMG is not pushing for this Drake very hard at all. The charm does land onto Victor here. Azir running out of health. The heal will be enough. As on the other side of the map, Shane has gotten that inhibitor turret. Backs are stopped here as Nami is forced to flash away. Viego going in, however, does not have the ability to get in there. Azir will fall. The inhibitor is taken by Shane here. Crisp 10 is running down ZMG as reality falls as well. Joe Baby forced to blast cone away, but Shane is taking the second inhibitor here.
He's about to take their whole Nexus. Wow.
So a couple of kills onto the Zeri, but now you have 2 lanes that are pushed in constantly. That's a
How
tough
much
trade
time
to
is it
make.
until Baron?
Baron will spawn in 30 seconds here.
That's a
Widowmaker
lot of pressure.
does get the objective bounty for that mid turret, so not the absolute end of the world, but if they
I mean,
try
the
and
question
fight
is,
this Baron, they're gonna lose a lot of their base.
yeah, are they able to? I don't know. 2 inhibs down, the wave clear mid. It's a lot to deal with, and it's a tricky situation to be put in.
If there's a silver lining for Lotus Prestige at the moment, it's that their two strongest members are the Ahri and Zeri, exactly the members that you want to be strong.
Right. Oh, Yumi's got 2 kills herself.
Yeah. The bubble does land over the wall, Shane choosing not to follow up, which is a good idea considering there were 4
Yeah.
members there.
I thought he was going to take it. I'm surprised. I'm impressed. Good
Eh,
call by Shane.
Good decision making there. All 5 members of ZMG are grouped up here. Looks like they might be starting the Baron.
Olaf's looking at TP in it somewhere. Is there even any wards for him to TP to? Oh, they got a
TP comes
ward right
in
there.
onto that ward in the bush.
They got
Bubble is
engaged.
a
Reset.
little bit early. Crits, though, does not have a way in. The Nami ult will find nobody. And a whole lot of nothing going on here.
But their base is getting invaded by about 4 Supermans. Oh, they're
The
fighting.
Yuumi ult misses, not able to find the root onto Joe Baby. Azir will be ulted on, does not get the kill. Crits is the first to fall here as T-Garden gets that in the back. Is reality real falls? T-Garden falls as well. Widowmaker is running out of health here though, as Shayna has not been touched. Azir still alive on the backside of the fight as Widowmaker falls, Zongi falls, Owl in a hoodie will fall as well, and that is a 5-for-2 ace. TP's coming out, will come to the Nexus, and that will be the end of Game 2 here. We will be heading to Game 3 to decide this series.
Wow, that was a joy to watch. What a good game, especially from Shane. I'd give that MVP, I think, to Shane. What do you think?
I would absolutely agree. His pressure and presence across the map absolutely won ZMG that game.
Yeah.
Worth noting though, as much as that game felt like a stomp, Lotus Prestige was only down 8 kills by the end.
Yeah, and they were up at the start too, for I think like 10 minutes, maybe even 15. So it's nice to see CMG with the ability to come back from being down. And I think Shane definitely spearheaded that with what was that one play top where they tried to dive and he ended up outplaying it. That was great to watch as well.
Now the question is, how does this change the game plan heading into Game 3 for Lotus Prestige? Do you take away this Renekton?
He might have to triple ban him because that's pretty much all he plays. He plays lane dominating, split pushing, strong sided champions. So if they're looking to shut him down, they're gonna have to commit quite a few bans. Because if you take away the Renekton, you still got the Lara. You take away the Lara, you still have the York. That's 3 champs that they'd have to put into the bans, and you know that they're gonna have to ban the Azir. So it's a tricky situation in draft.
Looks like we are seeing Lotus Prestige take red side for Game 3. Does this surprise you?
They were blue last time, right?
No, they were red side for
Red.
that game as well.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm curious. I don't know what this draft's gonna look like because I think that they're gonna really try to shut down Shane. I don't know if Shane's planning on getting a pick early in because after the last 2 bans, I don't know if he's gonna have many champs to choose from to do what he wants to do. And it looks like they're hoping that he's gonna be able to do that. But if he's not picking in the first wave, I'm gonna be surprised. I'm not talking first pick, maybe second pick, third pick, but if they let the last 2 bands go through and they're top bands, it's going to be a very tricky time for Shane, I think, in terms of game plan.